Hello, welcome in. This is a divine feminine reading. Going to do a little check in and see what the energy is. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Not everything is going to resonate with everyone. It's a collective message. It's not personal. So not all details may be resonating with you. So it may just literally be a sentence that makes some sort of sense. So don't try and make anything fit. So, what is the current energy for the divine feminine? What do we need to know? As a divine feminine collective, what do we need to know? Prosperity. Yeah, girl. Yeah, my sister. Bring the money. Okay, so let's see. Prosperity. Obviously, prosperity doesn't just mean finances, it means just how we're doing. Friendship, it just means in all aspects of how we feel about ourselves and everything. Trust. Love it. Okay. Want to say that feels like trust in the universe here, friendship, peace. Maybe find people that are sort of on our level, may have to be or may feel like we've cut people out just because and not from a sense that, we don't like them anymore or anything like that, but just we're not on the same frequency anymore. So starting to align with people that are more on our level. And that doesn't, I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just that somebody who gets where you're going or where you want to go. Grieving is here. So it may be a bit of grieving of letting go here of, past situations or past people here. Career. And underneath it is reconciliation. So we'll see how this goes. So I feel that this grieving is more about, letting go of things that no longer serve us. And that can be hard, especially if it's people or friendships or, you know, family members or, things that we've had to just sort of say, look, I don't align with this anymore. We're not on the same level here. It's sad to let those things go. That I'm on a different frequency here now. I have a different calling here. I'm not taking all those, there's way too many. It just feels like, there's a level up happening here. There's some sort of upgrade, if you like, happening. And it's like you're having to sort of say, I'm moving on here. There could be something around trust and friendships too. Being careful who we trust. Yeah, look, Ten of Swords. Might have to be sort of like, I know the grieving card here. We may feel betrayed by not just like friends, but maybe members of the family too, that we sort of felt that, they had our backs and they would be sort of like looking out for us to find out they didn't really have our back either. They weren't really as on our side here, King of Cups. They weren't as on our side as what we thought they were, and it's just a case of realizing that you were maybe overgiving yourself and not getting very much back here and not a lot of loyalty here with the trust card, feeling like, you trusted them, but they weren't that loyal to you. Nine of Swords here. Feeling anxiety about this, feeling sad. This has been like a hard reckoning really for you to I feel that there's been people's masks have been removed here and you're starting to see who's who. And I mean, with the King of Cups here, I mean, you're in your emotions about this. You've had to sort of like try and master your emotions about this, about like who's for me and who's not. And I mean, there's grieving about this, the Hierophant. And it's literally, you're on this higher calling, you're on this higher level, Knight of Cups. And I feel there's a lot of like you've had to go within and do a lot of, this healing work on yourself and a lot of self love and Six of Swords in reverse. Three of Pentacles. Leaving behind, yeah, really very much like giving yourself that healing, the self love, seeing your self worth, caring for yourself because there's been people you've had to leave behind that can't go with you because they're not on your frequency. And not everybody, Seven of Cups, everybody is here to do different things. And everybody has come through in this lifetime for different reasons. I'm here to help to be of service to others. I'm a channel. I give the information through that I get, and by doing that, I help people. Some people don't have that calling. Some people don't have the higher calling. That's not the reason why they're here. And it's that old saying of you can't save every soul. You can only help the ones that want to be helped. And there's people here that you kind of have had friendships with, or maybe family members that they don't see where you're going. They don't see that. And it's not your job to press it upon them. You know, it's anybody who's come into this kind of, anybody who has had any kind of spiritual experience or on a spiritual path will know it's a very personal thing. You have to have this, I don't know, do you want to call it an awakening? I don't know what you want to call it. Somebody has to, you individually have to have this experience yourself in order to move forward. It's kind of like that. You know, I've said it before. Somebody's saying to me, right, Vanessa, you need to lose 2 stone. I'd be like, 2 stone at least. I need to lose a lot more than that. But it's okay. Somebody sent it to me. I need to get it in here. I need to understand. I need to want to do it. Being spiritual is the same thing. It's okay. Somebody stand preaching to you. It's like going to church. It's okay. Somebody stand preaching to you unless you want to understand and believe it. It's just words. And I feel there's people around you here that are just saying it as words and they're not on your level here, and you've had to sort of let them go. Page of Cups. They don't see what you see here, they see something different, or they're still very much in the 3D here, but it's not your job to persuade anybody. I do this, it's not my job for people to believe what I'm saying. It's a personal thing whether you understand what's going on here or not. It's not for me to ram it down your throat. It's a choice. We're on YouTube. It's a choice whether somebody stops and watches or not. Nobody's made to come here and watch me talk the divine feminine energy. It's not your job to persuade anybody either. You say what you gotta say, and the people who take it on board want to take it on board, and the people who don't won't. And that's it. And that's it. And I feel that you're just having to cut people out here. 6 of Cups, this could be people from your childhood. So this could be family that you're just having to say, look, you know, well, this is just the way it is. And not necessarily overly cutting them out, just being aware of the relationship is no longer, well, the relationship kind of was a bit of an illusion anyway, because it wasn't what you thought it was. But you're putting boundaries in place here. 7 of Wands. You're putting a boundary in place for these people then, and you're being quite strategic about what you tell, because not everybody's going to get. Yeah, it's definitely family. 10 of Cups here. Not everybody's going to get what you're doing here, so you're being mindful about what you're saying. So there's a level of grieving here because it's like, you know, these people didn't have my back the way I thought they did. You know, that kind of unconditional love. And it's like, you know, it shouldn't matter what you're doing, justice in reverse. So it's that kind of feeling that, you know, regardless of unconditional love, these people should have my back regardless, and finding out that that's not the case. You know, they have had their own agendas maybe, which is hard if it's family. that to find out these people actually have their own agenda for why. Queen of Wands, of why they kind of, not why they had you in their life, because your family, but their uses of you. You've maybe feel here you've been used by people. It hasn't been a 50-50 thing at all. This is you here, Queen of Wands, very creative. So wherever you're moving with the career card here, you're taking yourself to the next level. Two of Cups. This is this loving yourself here. This is you really giving into you, you know, feeding yourself, self love, seeing your self worth, giving your time, giving yourself healing here, some time out doing the things you enjoy here. Two of Wands. Making the decision, right, what I want, no longer being worried or held back about what other people think or what, maybe it's these family members or this friendship group, you take it as it resonates. You were always kind of concerned about what they thought, and it kind of held you back from doing stuff. Now, when you see the masks have been removed here and you see who's who, you're like, I don't care what, you know, granny or mummy or daddy or brother or sister has to say. I'm doing what I want to do here. Ace of Swords, because I see the way forward. I know what's important here. I see what's been going on here and what these people really think of me. And maybe see you as a resource here. Five of Wands. They see you as some type of resource, but they call on you whenever sort of something needs sorted out, and you're like, I'm not at your beck and call to do stupid stuff here. Page of Pentacles. Does feel like a real kind of like a you're bought into the fold when it suits. It really feels that way. And it's now seeing that, like getting very little here. You get very little back from these people. Very little. And you're like, you know what? Enough's enough here. I'm not, it's now me that's most important. Why have I been living my life here? Three of Cups. Why have I been living my life here worrying about what these people think when they don't really care? They don't really care. It's not about me. They worry about themselves. Celebrating yourself here. Five of Pentacles. There's going to be quite a few people feel left out in the cold here. King of Pentacles. There's quite a few people. Whatever this career thing is, I feel that you're going to take off and do pretty well for yourself here. And there might be some people that are a bit, yeah, Six of Wands, publicly seen here. This public, whatever it is, you're going to be seen, and there's going to be some people sitting in regret here. Maybe you're going into some sort of healing um career, energy healing, or it can be anything. It's healing can be talking therapy in some sense. There's something you're going to do here that's going to be publicly seen here. Yeah, and there's people here in regret. Five Cups. There's the Three of Swords, kind of sideways. We'll take it upright, but there's people here from your past are going to be quite feeling sorry for themselves because they're not part of it. You put boundaries in place here. These people are not part of it. Yeah, you're keeping them in the dark. You're very strategic about what you tell them. They may be having to find out what you're up to through other people or online that like they don't know. They may be looking a bit silly now because people are coming up saying, "Oh, I believe the divine feminine's doing this. I've seen the divine feminine doing that," and they're going, "We don't know. Explain that. Why do you not know?" Queen of Cups. This loving, nurturing energy here. This is how you're being seen. And now these people are like, perhaps this is their wake up call. It's just to see you. It wasn't your job to actually try and help these people. By you going and doing what you're meant to do is actually what's going to help them. So let's see, let's get one of these for the Divine Feminine. By you going and doing what you need to do and living your authentic life, that's what gives them the wake up call, because then they see you doing so well for yourself. So maybe they turned their nose up at your spirituality a bit, or what you said you were doing, and they were like, what's the Divine Feminine on about? And now they see you doing it and they're like, oh shit, they were right. So I see you keeping your boundaries in place with them though. Can we get a card here, please, for the Divine Feminine? What do we need to know about this, please? We have a card. Please and thank you. We have a card here for the Divine Feminine, please. Looks really good though. Hard to do, and sad to do too with a grieving card here. Chop wood. 42. This is you chopping wood. What no longer serves me needs to leave. And it's a hard thing to do, especially if we're talking about family here, because you'll have that um guilt getting held over your head about, well, I'm mother, I'm father, I'm whatever, you should have, you can't just cut me out, or you can't. I don't even feel you necessarily having this conversation of cutting anybody out. It's just the boundaries you put in place. They no longer have the access they once had. And I feel it's like it's not even a thing that you've actually had to spell out. You've just implemented it, because you don't have to explain yourself. If these people aren't treating you the way that you treat them, or there's not a 50-50 thing coming back, you don't need to explain it. It's up to them then to work out why it's gone the way it's gone. The Oracle's message. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your conscious so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning a tree is from forerunner of delighting in the beautiful blooms when it comes into full blossom. The mundane act of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and leaving it to be and then leaving it to be, to let nature take its course, is an important step in manifestation. Taking your attention away from your goal brings you into a state of representativity. This is the deeper purpose of releasing attachment. When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which bring you ever closer to what you seek. Relationship message. Nothing is as important right now as you doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember that nothing that let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard won, passionate, or even obviously meaningful. Relationships and friendships go through lulls when the everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. That is perfect now. Hold hands, wash dishes, make a fire, read a book, share a meal, say nothing, stare into space, pick up socks, tell a dumb joke, and leave space to breathe. The word work of your relationship right now is very simple. Just be present. Funny how it takes work to be just fine. All is well, really. So it's just kind of centering yourself here, is what I feel with this. You're taking some time here just to sort of be with you, and not really having to put too much effort into anything. You're setting your boundaries here and you're concentrating on self. And that's really good. I'm going to take this to Extended Divine Feminine. If you want to come along, the link will be below. I'm going to take a look and see what we don't see coming here, what the blockages might be, and any outcome, and then we'll get some angelic advice. So if you want to come along, the link will be below, and I'll see you over there.